So let us start page Kufnun Vov, 6 lines from the beginning. The line begins with the word Be Yisrael. Which concludes the sentence that says that Yid has the koyach of Kiddush Hashem. The koyach that Yid has to go on Kiddush Hashem comes from the fact that there is the need for Mazlei Chozi. Then the Rebbe says that there is in from Amunah. Amunah really is rooted even higher than the need for Mazlei Chozi. Why do we say that? Because Mazlei Chozi means he sees. And he sees the Amidah Adov. And he discusses all the time that a sight is a very direct and very pure recognition, identity. Sight does not engage any kind of human decision process. Faculty, it's a direct connect. Nonetheless, the Rebbe says, in sight also there are differences. Different madrigas in sight and different periods in sight. Therefore, sight, Mazlei Chozi, cannot be considered as the soul of the source for Amunah. That effectuates Amunah in the Shomesh Yisrael. That cannot be the Indian that the Mazlei Chozi, that he sees the truth. And the reason that we say that this is not sufficient is because Amunah has no variances at all. Mazlei Chozi inside. And as we already discussed, sight is like a faculty, and the faculty functions differently in different times. But Amunah is implanted in the neshama in a manner that has no variances. Therefore, it has to be that Amunah is effectuated by some other means than sight. But sight would invariably create a process of a different moment, different situations, different times. This union is nimshach, comes from a higher madriga, from which also results in union of Kiddush Hashem, koyach of Kiddush Hashem, and also the other musteres that the Rish Behel never eat. This we discussed quite extensively. Hopefully, we can, so to speak, recall it. Avo mesoteres. Avo is an experience, and if it's subtle, mesoteres, then in what way is it present? What makes it be? And the same thing questions on Amunah. It comes from a higher source than you. Which means it is actually effectuated by something higher than the experience of the neshama itself. And this is why there's a union from the neshama can go koyach kiddush Hashem. It can be moishe nefesh. He has a question. How can it be Mesiris Nefesh? The whole union that he has, all his entire awareness is by him from his own life. And if he's Mesiris Nefesh, he loses the whole awareness. So for this we say that clearly that there is the union of awareness beyond that which the neshama experiences in itself. And that is due to the fact that there is in the neshama a direct effect of that which is higher than the neshama. And here comes I wanted to talk about this, the bechira that.
Sorry, we went from talking about Emunah to Ava Mesoteres because not.
The connection puts them all in the same dargah.
And what we understand about Ava Mesoteres just the hidden love.
6-9.
The principle of Ava Mesoteres, and that's what we want to focus on eventually. If it's Ava Mesoteres, means that the neshama acquires it without its participation.
Right, and that's the similarity to Emunah. But Ava Mesoteres per se, are we meant to think about anything? What are we meant? Hidden love. I mean, what are we thinking?
We're not thinking. Ava Mesoteres means that the Ava is present.
His Ava
without the participation of the neshama.
Okay.
It is given to it milmaila.
Okay, I guess I'm just saying, Emunah, we have some sense of what that is and what that means for
Emunah is, if you think about it, Emunah is also on par with the unit of Ava Mesoteres, and even Hebrew. Because Emunah is what brings a person to the unit of Mesiris Nefesh. Mesiris Nefesh does not, there's no way that you can grasp it in your seichel. Because in Mesiris Nefesh, you're giving up your seichel.
Can I ask, what was said that, and I spoke with the PALTIEL on Shabbos about the neshama zachaylik elokam mima'al. And now we're saying that the Emunah is even higher than the neshama. What are we referring to? To the experience of the neshama, but not from the neshama itself.
When we say mazle chozi, that which the mazle sees is higher than the neshama. And he sees it in its source, like the Rebbe says.
That's
One second.
Yeah.
You have to put it in perspective here, because we have an excellent way of expressing it, of showing. Like we spoke yesterday, last night, we spoke about a different notch in the whole motion of the breathing. There are two parts in breathing. There's a part that you breathe in, that you take it inside. And there's a part of breathing that you are part of the source of the breath. That which you are part of the source of the breath, as we explained, that the air that surrounds a person, that air does not wait for the person to solicit, to get to it. It pushes itself into the person. And therefore, without through this situation, the person is given and feels that he is given something that he has no jurisdiction. He doesn't understand what he's given. That which he takes in, that he experiences. That which is being forced into him, that he doesn't understand. As we said many times, that the life element is something which we cannot understand. This is what's called, when one is, just like in the breath, the two parts of that which comes into you, and that where you are part of the whole mass of air. You're part of the whole mass of air. You're part of the source of life. And this is a very important recognition in the person, as I said many times. But if you give a person just a means of drawing air, which will give him physical life, and he will be thirsty for real life. Because life is something when you connect into the source of life, to the real thing, not the amount that you can take into yourself. This Indian repeats itself at various different levels. Mainly the Indian that I'm talking about, the Indian that there is the real thing in its source state, and then there is the trickle that comes in internally in a person. I mentioned yesterday, what's moidecha? Moidecha means, I said moidecha is mameincha. Money. How is money compared to nafshecha on b'chalavovcha? So the Gemara says, "Momeina shalodom mamidei araglav." This makes him, it stands him up on his feet. Don't you think that what stands him up on his feet is a strength in his feet, and God is alive? The moment, we said yesterday also, moment is that which enables a person to acquire those things that he needs, to feed himself and to clothe himself and so forth. But this keeps a person in a state of want, of lack. It does not give him a sense of grace, of freedom. Mamidi al-Raglav, this is the wealth. Why does a person need wealth? He can only consume a certain amount at a time. The same as, why does a person need the best of air? He can only consume a certain amount at a time. And here, just like in case of wealth, which is a low level of martial, if you don't appreciate, the person has precisely that which he needs for the next hour in terms of finances. He feels wanting, feels unsure of himself. He's afraid to spend a penny because he will not have it next minute. A person can spend $1 only if he feels that there is, so to speak, a bigger arsenal, the source where it's coming from. There's more of this come from. Without that, then he can't take even the little amount that he needs. This is that which is provided in the person from a higher source. This is not part of the person's own orientation. He doesn't even know how to understand it. When a person goes out to work, he doesn't work to get wealth. He goes to get money to pay his rent. Wealth is a bracha b'mayim, special gift. The Gemara says an interesting thing. REBBE machabed ashir. REBBE, everyone knows REBBE, Rin HaKodesh. Rin HaKodesh used to be machabed ashirim. He used to give respect to ashirim, to wealthy people. REBBE machabed ashirim. The explanation, there's many explanations. The explanation is an oshir, the father, he's an oshir. His neshama is much more on the surface, much more revealed. Functions on a higher level. And therefore, when you talk to an oshir, you can talk to him from the oshir's perspective, from a higher level. This higher level, ashirus, you have to understand, this is what we're talking about. Ashirus is not something that a person acquires by his own toil. Ashirus is a brach, is a gift milmayim. Even more than ashirus. Certainly, ruchni is a ashirus. This is what the Rebbe says. He is given this union that he has a gift milmayim. And it's given to him that he can appreciate and see something which is not something that he can really fully comprehend and fully accept. It remains behelam. It remains on a subtle thing. It is there, and it impresses upon him being from Ahava Mesoteres. But it's not his possession. And here what the Rebbe says, okay, I'm going to get back to this. The line begins with Yisrael. At the end of the line, regarding this union at this point, there is union of Bechira. What does the Bechira consist of? And here is the question. Since that this is something which is implanted and given to him milmaylo, so what's Bechira is? It's given to him. He's not involved in this. And here is where the Bechira comes in. The Bechira is let me stop for a moment and explain what is the need for Bechira. Again, since everything is given milmaylo, so what is Bechira about? The Bechira is that a yid should be involved and should seek to be personally involved in what he has.
Personally involved in what?
personally involved in what he has. Not just the fact that it's given to him, but he really wants it.
How does this relate to the idea of a gift, Lemaila?
The gift is milmaila. And what is the bechira? That's what let me say. The bechira is, Razeh is bechira. There's bechira b'rachim Yisrael. Every Eid has a bechira. Let's stop for a second. This bechira is a statement from the part of the Eid. Now this in that I have on the course is not merely by the fact, only due to the fact that I'm being given it, but I really personally want it. It's a wonderful gift, but there's much more to it as far as I'm concerned. This is the person, I seek it, not only because it's very pleasant and it's great and so forth, but I personally want it.
It's like a kind of graciousness where you're accepting of what's given.
Mm-mm. No, accept what you're given is what was given. That's not bechira.
But with acknowledgement. As
Even
opposed-
acknowledging, it's still what was given. We'll have to resort to the Shoni. When you will be given, you're a guest at somebody's home, and he serves you graciously, royally, and you're enjoying everything that he gives you, and you are appreciating his grace, appreciating the whole experience. When you're going to want to stand up and express appreciation to him, if you say, I appreciate your wealth, I appreciate the beauty of your home, anything that you experience in your use, if you folks appreciation that this is completely off topic. What is the correct, what is the real statement of appreciation? I appreciate you. Your presence, even though your presence is only that provides the food. It's not, you're not eating his presence. But you appreciate his presence per se. This is the strongest kind of reaction. Not his seichel, not his midas, him.
The bechira is like a cognizance of the giver.
That's right. That's why it's bechira. Because this is not part of what you're getting. There's what you're getting. And then you say, okay, I'm having what I need what I have what I need.
The bechira element is to
But I need turns out and says I'm not a schnorrer. You know what a schnorrer is? You know?
see one.
I'm not just a taker. I want to go to the source. I want to be related to the source of this gift. And I want to show appreciation to that source. This is the bechira. Why is the bechira? The bechira is that he goes and that which is given to him in mind, he is not satisfied with the fact that was given to him in mind. But he opens his mind and heart and he wants to recognize what it is. To do it in the kirchis pnimi, in seichel midas. In order to draw this into seichel midas, one has to relate to the source of this idea. This is at the level of Bechira. Why is it at the level of Bechira? It's up to the person to choose the experience over here or the source of that experience when it comes. What's the real thing? That's what's called the Bechira. He has the Bechira to choose to relate to the food or to the giver of the food. Why does he care about the giver of food? I have my food. This Bechira dance for is something which reveals in the person his own essence. That he is not merely an experience in the world, but he has a reality. He has his own. He has a reality beyond his experience. And this is why, with this reality, he is drawn to the real thing. So therefore, the fact that I'm experiencing, that I have all of this is wonderful. But I want to really bring it down, internalize it. I want to know what it is. Just like in the case of the breathing yourself. You breathe all the air around you, but you also want to take it internally into your nostrils. And it should internalize and it should become part of you. Why? Because there is a certain sense of personal reality which is higher than the experience of the neshama. I mentioned many times, I hope being able to think into this. I mentioned many times that the interesting in it, that when the Rebbe created all things, we're talking particularly about when he created the human being. He created the human being. Zochar Nekiva Boro Isu. He created the whole human being, the whole structure. And then it says, Vayikra Shmom Odom. He gave him a name Odom. And this is part of the Chumash, part of their creation. He gave him a name Odom. What's the naming? How's the name coming in at this arena that he's been creating them? And this is part of the creation itself. The name is what gives them a self-standing presence. A total identity of their own, what they are. That's the name. The name is something, there are many human beings. Each human being has a name. This name is what identifies him, not as a human being, but as what he is a person. It gives him a personal reality, personal status. This personal status is deeper than all these experiences.
What's the what gave him the personal status that's deeper? What's the origin of it here?
This is the name.
Okay.
The Rebbe created a human being. He didn't create only his functional aspect, but he gave him a real presence. So the person of the Rebbe himself named him. This name is identifying, is giving him the Ruchim Zekikoyach of being a self-standing entity.
Right.
The godly creation of a self-standing entity, not part of the big world, but just what he is in himself. There's this essence, this divine essence that is in the person, This is where the union from the Bechira comes in. Because he has everything he needs.
Yeah.
He says, no, but that is only for my functional level.
Right.
Where is my own reality?
But here is accepting the name.
No.
The name is given from the Maila.
Yes. The name given money is this is what provides for the koyach of Bechira. And how does the koyach of Bechira express itself in the union that we're discussing? It is that despite the fact that I have everything that I need, and I have Avum Soteres, I have all these things, I want that this Avum Soteres should be mine. I should own it. I should be bringing it out in my own seichel, my own needs. It should be real at my level. This is, you saw the other day, this is a phenomenal thing. And that's why this goes back to Bechira, because Bechira touches on the essence of the person. Bechira is a statement that despite that this person is part of a whole creation and is part of his environment, and he has to breathe and eat and sleep and so forth, there's a certain essential reality there that is independent of all his experiences. He's just identifying him as a standalone entity to the point where he has a name. A name. A standalone entity. On his own. It is from this source, and we stand on only reality, this is where the union from the Bechira over here comes in. The union from Bechira comes in when he says, it's not enough that I'm getting in Milmana. I want it to be mine. We hear many kinds of Misholim and people's experiences, all that, which are all expressing, by bringing out and revealing the inner sense of the human being, that he's not satisfied in getting what he needs, but he wants to be the originator. He wants to be creator of what he needs.
Creator
of what he needs.
That was the last sentence? Who's the originator of what he needs?
Whatever he doesn't, he's not satisfied with what he needs, with having what he needs. He wants to be the originator of what he needs, the originator of that provision.
He wants to be it or meet that or relate to what the human beings receive it, and he wants to originate.
He wants to be the originator. He wants it to be that he is the one who created, who created to be.
He wants to be the one who what? When you get a gift from somebody, say, don't worry, I'll feed you. I'll feed you, I'll give you all you need. But this should be enough. But this is not enough. Because ultimately the human being wants to stand on his own, he wants to stand on his own feet. Where does he get that? And Radak can stand on his own feet.
Does that really?
Oh, one second. Yeah. Where does he get that from?
This is from the higher source of that he is a real creation of the mind. This is what we said the whole time. This is it's an Indian that when he was created, he was given a name.
Okay, this standing on his own feet means receiving face to face. It doesn't mean being a Metzias b'fnei atzmai. He's never going to be his own resource. He's always receiving air from above. No?
Yes,
Can I
but
get
we
a
don't
question
see
in here somewhere? Hello?
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
What you just said that he doesn't want to just have these things. He wants to be the creator
Louder.
of these things.
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing, we're having difficulty with this, and I can appreciate this.
Did you hear what I said?
I try to.
Okay. How can he wants to be the creator of these things that he needs? That's like he wants to be God.
That's the question, yes.
Yes.
Does this relate to what you said before? Experience higher than
Gentlemen,
Nishana?
I just want to make sure, one thing clear. That whatever we say over here is not meant to be understood from the words alone. It's meant to be understood from the inner meaning and the allusion that comes to the word. Words that cannot express a neshama. I gave many nishodim on this.
Right, the guest.
Try again. You have a job. Cannot be more simple than that. You have a job. And the job is a good job. And you're being treated well. And it's enough for you to live with, and so on. For some reason, something is gnawing at you. And you want to be self-employed. Why? Does the employer threaten you with that I'm not going to hold it up indefinitely? No, he's going to give you indefinitely. Why do you want to be self-employed?
I always understood that to be you want to receive directly face-to-face. Not that you are the resource, but rather you want to go not through an intermediary and the company. You
Why?
want to be, why? Because you want to be face-to-face with your giver, your creator. That's what I understood the urge to be about.
Even if he put it this way, what's behind that?
What's behind that?
Yeah.
That you're God's creation, that you're His son. What do you?
You're given everything that God wants to give you.
But I don't want to receive it through the corporate structure. I want to go and meet Him face to face. That's what I understood it to be.
I
Why?
put it on your table.
Huh?
Now, I put it on your table. Nobody is watching. You can eat as much as you want. No supervisor.
No super. Yeah.
What's missing? What's gnawing at you?
I always understood, again, if a man is in his village and in his home and everything's fine and he goes out on an adventure, I understood this to be the same impulse. He goes alone to meet his maker. Whether it's business or an adventure or taking it, this is what I understood to be. Not that he becomes his resource. He goes to meet the one who's providing to him.
Okay. Maybe we should, even in that element that you're alluding to, you're missing an important point. The reason a person goes out of his comfort zone and goes out into the wilderness, not because he wants to meet his maker. It is because he wants to reveal within himself a self-standing element.
That's different. That's different? It's very similar, no?
Similar, but it's a much deeper.
A self-standing element, yeah?
Does that relate to what you said before, experience higher than Nishana?
I would say yes or no, but I'm afraid to because I don't know what you're referring to.
Higher than muzzle. Higher than the muzzle. That's it.
Higher than what Neshama sees, right?
This self-standing element is like he seeks some kind of nakuda, chelek elokah. He goes to find that self-standing.
Like I said, the motion for this is that you were all given a name. The Eibusha gave the human being a name when he created him. What's a name? You have everything you need. The name is what relates it directly to your source, when you are self-standing entity.
So both. Relating to source and being that self-standing entity.
self-standing
Okay. So when
this self-standing entity is deeper than all the qualities that he experiences. Because of this self-standing entity, he has the koyach of bechira, where he can ignore all that he is given. And he says, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the union that I should be able to bring all of this into my seichel and midas. It should be mine. As long as it's being given to me, it's fine. But I want that this which is being given to me should be something that I can process with my own seichel. Why? What's wrong with what you're given? Because in being, when you were created with an essence. And you want this essence to be the basis of your activity.
Why is that not a vain project? Bringing everything given into my seichel and midas.
Okay, let's think together. The reason it's not a vain project because there's a reality behind this. Because this union that you were created by the Creator. You understand this? When the Arisha created a human being, I mentioned many times, he said, Nas Odom. It was a planning stage in making man. It didn't come automatically. This Nas Odom means that the Rebbe, so to speak, invented the human being before he came into being. This invention of the human being is expressing that the human being really is an expression of Hashem himself. This is much greater than anything that the human being can experience on his own.
And seemingly irreducible, cannot be brought down into
And this is what the human being wants to bring down into his functional level.
That's even possible. That's even.
That's what he says. This is Bechira. I want to be connected to not to what I am, but for why I'm here. This is the Bechira. Why does he want to bring down that which is given in AYIN, and why does he bring down the heaven into his seichel? To bring it down into his seichel and midas. Why? Because that's his real creation, that's his real being.
Right. It does seem like trying to fit infinity into a defined vessel,
Fine.
right? That
Yes,
is the okay.
Okay, but this is already kind of a peripheral aspect.
Okay.
What is this desire itself consist of? Desire is so Bechira is the deepest aspect in the person. Bechira means he can ignore everything. He just wants to have the essence of it. And then we have no more time, right? Just one quarter. The Rebbe says, at least we could bring it to where we're up to. And this power of this Bechira and the ability to follow through on it, that he should bring this in and into his seichel, is buttressed, it's supported by the union that he has a order of makif on ak. We discussed this the other day, because once a person goes into that level, he's completely at a loss. He has no more of the orientation. But this he needs support from Maki to be able to go there without fear. Okay, so this is it. Since we're still in Golos, so we have no choice.